Welcome back to Sailing Sunday. Our time here in the beautiful Exumas is coming close to an end. But before we go, we have a few more spots we want to visit. And of course, soak up the last little bit of crystal clear blue water that this place is famous for. We're currently anchored next to an island which was once owned by Johnny Depp himself.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
And was the location of his infamous wedding to Amber Heard. But we all know how that one turned out.
My dog stepped on a bee.
It's since been sold to yet another extremely famous person, and I'm sure all of you would recognize some of her work.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Unless you've been living under a rock, of course.
We got a big storm coming tonight and we're really protected where we are, but we just thought, well, there's a bit of a lull in the weather before the storm, hopefully. We're gonna just continue up north and see Pablo Escobar's sunken drug plane, hey? Where he moved a lot of flour. For now, let's hug these rocks, and it's coming into low tide, so we've missed high tide, guys, so we might get stuck coming out of here. We anchored in this beautiful little spot here, and everyone else is out away, and they're rocking and rolling, so it was a good little spot here, but to get in here you got to go over shallow water at high tide, and high tide was a few hours ago, so we'll still be all right, but we're gonna have to snake our way out of here and get back to deeper water. So we've had some pretty rough weather with Mum and Dad on board the last few days, and it's so funny. You guys have seen our anchoring video with our new Ultra Anchor. This thing has been buried, so that's why we went really close to the rocks earlier and anchored in this nice little patch through that shallow water to get into that little area, because I wouldn't normally anchor that close to rocks, or like, you know, especially in a storm like we just had overnight, but man, we've just been annihilating this thing the last few weeks, just like digging it in, dragging it around, and resetting it, and the thing just digs deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in the water. So, you know, we're super confident in this bad boy, so it's been good. Even though we've got a storm coming up again tonight, this has probably been the most beautiful sail we've had. We've gone about 5.5 knots. It's flat, calm. The water's crystal blue. The sun's kind of not setting, but you know, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. And we're gonna try and drop anchor by sunset at about 6:30, 6 o'clock. And just make our way north, continuing north. It's just behind the clouds up there right now. Hey, Mom, Dad. Do you want to do the old Titanic on the bow? Jackson wants to do it with me. Come here, boy. Come on. Jackson, look. Oh, Jesus. This is our life. Pregnant lady. Do you want to come do it up on the bow?
This is Pablo Escobar's famous plane crash. And when it comes to the Exumas, this has to be one of the most photographed tourist sites on the map. So of course we had to check it out for ourselves to see what all the fuss was about. But first, we had to wait around for the tour boats to leave so we could have it all to ourselves. As with everything, patience is key, and after a few minutes, the tour boats left and we had a short window to explore the wreck without anyone else around. Luckily, this dive site is in a super protected area in really shallow water, making it a really easy dive. It's an interesting change up from the beautiful coral reefs we're used to seeing here, and the history behind it makes it even more fascinating. Sometimes dives like these can get a little eerie, so to have a surprise definitely gets the heart pumping. This is definitely not something you hope to see during a dive, and I gotta be honest, this scared the crap out of me when I turned the corner. But it's a fun little prank to those who come to visit this iconic site. Soon the next wave of tour boats were on the horizon, so it was time to head out. But we couldn't pass this adorable little island before continuing on. It was a perfect little spot for Jackson to run free for a while. And now with this dive checked off our list, it was time to make our way to Nassau for one last big adventure before Ryan's parents jump on their flight back to Australia. Now, we had originally planned to take Ryan's parents back down to Georgetown, but as always in boat life, plans can change at the drop of a hat, and the weather wasn't looking good for us to turn back around to head there. So we decided to continue up and finish off at the famous Atlantis resort. Now, the marinas here in Nassau are crazy expensive, and there aren't very many to choose from. But the marina here at Atlantis includes full access to the resort and water parks for all guests staying on board. And at $250 a pop for a day pass, suddenly the marina fee was a lot more economical. This is definitely a marina catered to super yachts, so us plebs were thrown all the way at the back. Luckily, they have a free shuttle through the marina and resort, otherwise we wouldn't have been going anywhere in this heat. The resort here is beautiful and definitely catered to the American market, with all the gimmicks of a 90s Vegas casino, which we of course got sucked into. Now, this place is like a water park on steroids, and the resort is 171 acres and literally a city of its own. And it's full of tropical sea life we're used to seeing swimming out in the open ocean. So you could really spend days just walking around and still not have scratched the surface. Ryan was especially excited to go on all the different slides this park is well known for. Since I'm pregnant, I wasn't actually allowed on any of the slides, so I left it to the big kids to enjoy while I watched from the sidelines.
whether you hold your nose. Yeah, I was trying to push, but I knew you were coming behind me.
Oh my god.
Brittany, I found a slide for you. Yeah.
And although I may not have been able to sneak onto the more intense slides, they couldn't stop me from taking a stroll down the lazy river. So we spent the next few days spending time together, just relaxing, soaking up our last few days together, as well as just enjoying the luxury of being in a resort, which is something we haven't experienced in a very long time. Given how far away Ryan's parents are from us at the moment, we wanted to spend our last day together doing something super special given that they're going to be grandparents soon. So we made an appointment to a local ultrasound clinic to show them baby and see if we could find out gender while they were here with us. Unfortunately, the clinic wouldn't allow them in the room like we had hoped, but we were able to get some great photos for them and still managed to find out gender so we could share it with them later.
Is it really?
I told you.
Where is it? How do you know that?
I'm going to show you. Let's get it while it's good. While they're getting it's
Good thing we
good.
can see it. That's a good sign too, eh?
Right.
There, right there.
I've said this whole time it's a boy.
With that exciting news, we decided it would be fun to head out to breakfast and do a little gender reveal since they weren't able to be in the room with us. So she printed out photos for us, and on it, they'll have to look closely, but you'll find the information on the picture.
It's written on there.
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. Alright, go. What is it?
You ready? You have to look together.
It's a boy!
Okay, you can see his
Oh my goodness!
How do you feel your son's having a son?
Fantastic.
And just like that, our amazing 2 weeks together was up and it was time to say our goodbyes. Although this time didn't feel quite as sad, knowing we have a new little baby joining the family, we'll be seeing each other again soon. Now with Ryan's parents on their way home, it's time for us to switch out of vacay mode and get back to our normal boat life. Or so we thought. Over the next few weeks, we're swapping boat life for life on the road and taking you on an adventure from the Bahamas all the way across to the west coast of Canada. We're talking planes, trains, and automobiles because that's what it took to get ourselves and Jackson to the other side of the country. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And we'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe. It's got hair in my face. Ah, Jackson. Jackson says like and describe.
Describe.
Like and subscribe. He's really heavy. He's tricking me. Like and